Hello architecture students. Today I'm going to do a video on how to make this bay window. And of course you can see I've already got one in my living room. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put one over here in my my kitchen as well. And whether or not you put one in your kitchen is up to you, but I do want you to have one in your living room just like this. And I'll show you how that is done. Okay. So how we make a bay window, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the polygon tool right up here in the toolbar. We're going to click on it, click on the drop down arrow and go to polygon. Depending on how you want to make your window would depend on how many sides you need for your polygon. I'm going to go with 8 sides. I'm going to hit enter. Now it says to specify the center of polygon. And then when I click, it asks me to either inscribe in circle or circumscribe about circle. For this one, circumscribe about circle works best. Okay, so I'm stretching my, what's going to be my bay window. And I'm going to stretch it to, let's see, this one's going to be a little bit smaller than my living room. So I'm going to stretch it out to about, let's see, 4 feet. 6 inches. Actually, that's a little bigger than my living room window. I forgot what size I drew that. Then I'm going to select it. I'm going to activate the entire polygon like I have here by clicking on it. And then I'm going to click on the move tool. Okay, now this allows me to select a good center point by activating that point right there. And then coming down and activating this point right here. So now those green lines will kind of meet right in the center and give me a center point for which to manage my window. I'm going to pull this thing out to the corners. Those 2 top corners get right there on the outside edge of the wall. And there we go. We have placed it. Then I'm going to go to the trim tool and trim out the unnecessary geometry, which is pretty much all this down here. Okay, now of course I want to blend the structure of the wall because this is going to be like a whole wall bay window, meaning that the wall of the house is actually shaped for the window. Okay, so I got to put in the structural elements, which is very easy. What I'm going to start off by doing is offsetting the bay window. Now the wall thickness here is not going to be as much as this part of the wall. This is the brick wall here. It's 10 inches thick. I'm just going to make this part right here 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is offset this part of my bay window 5 inches. Okay. All right, now that I've got that done, I am going to start drawing some of the frame members. And I'm just going to draw this down till it connects right here. And let's see. Actually, I should trim that a little bit before I draw that. So I'm going to, or should I? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Either way, okay? But I'm going to do it. You can follow me. I want to just draw this down till it connects to the red wall. Take this one and draw it down until it connects to the red wall. Okay, now the other ones are going to remain the same, just going to be connected to the outside wall. Then I'm going to think about the size windows. So I need to do some measuring to figure out what size windows I can fit in there. So this section here, now if I measure it from out here, it's going to be a little long, so I'm going to measure it from the inside. And let's see, I get about 3 feet. So I'm going to actually put about a 2-foot window in both of these sides. So I have to draw a 2-foot window like I did down here. And I'll just show you how I did that one more time. Just for convenience sake, if you want to, you can fast forward past this part and make your own 2-foot window. All right. So I'm going to draw a vertical line that is the thickness of my wall, which in this case is going to be 5 inches. I'm going to offset that by 2 feet. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line down the center going to offset that line. This time I'm going to offset it a little bit narrower. I'm going to offset it 1 inch because this is a narrower wall. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to extend or not extend, but kind of thicken up the edges a little bit by 1 inch. So I've still got that 1 inch setting in my dynamic input. So I'm going to click enter. Click here, move it over. Click here, move it over. Use line tool. Cap off the top and the bottom of both of these sections. I'm going to fill them. And I'm going to make it into a block. 2 FT window. Everything is checked. Find the point I would like to adjust by right here in the center. And then select the whole object. And then enter. Now I've got a whole window. I'm going to set that window right in here. Now first, before I set it in there, I want to get the angle exact. So I have to take a reading of the angle. And how do I do that is I go back to the Home tab, and then I go over here to my Measure tool, pull that down, and look for angle. I'm going to click here, and that is an angle of 45 degrees. Cool. So what I need to do is spin this 45 degrees. I do that with the Rotate tool. We're snap right there in the center, kind of spin it this way. And I think it has already locked at 45 degrees. So I don't have to actually enter the rotation angle. I can just lock it in at 45 degrees. And the way I do that is down here in the status bar, there's this little tool right here, Restrict Cursor to Specified Angles. I click on the drop down, and I always leave mine set to 45, 90, 135, 180. Okay, that's what I normally use. So you might have yours set to 90, 180, 270, 360. So go ahead and reset it to 45, 90, 135, 180. I select the window, grab it by the center, and then just try to find the center of this line, if that center is going to make sense. I think it will. You might have to get a little bit closer and reference that center point right there. Turn that little reference on, and then drag it out and drop it. Now you might want to zoom in real close, and you see I'm kind of off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I already have it selected. I'm going to click on the Move tool. Click right there on the corner for my base point, and then just move it straight up to that line right there. Okay, so I've got that one in place. Now, all I have to do is mirror it over. So I'm going to select it first, click on the Mirror tool, use the center of this side of the window for my reference point, click, and then drag my cursor down. And this time where it asks you erase source objects, you will click no. Okay, so we got those two placed. Now I think I'm going to go maybe with the same size window for the front. Let's measure it and see what we got. I think it's going to all be the same size. So I could, if I put a 3-foot window in there, it's only going to leave me about 4 inches to play with. So I want to make it a 2-foot 6-inch window. Okay, so I want to make that 2-foot 6-inch window real quick. Draw a vertical line, 5 inches. Offset that line. This time I'm going to offset it. Let's see, 2 foot dash 6 inches, 2.5 feet. Draw a line down the center. Offset 1 inch. Oops, that didn't work. Try the offset again. Offset 1 inch, enter. Offset there, offset here. I'm going to go ahead and offset the sides to make sort of that frame. Go to my line tool, close in the tops and the bottoms. Okay, fill in those frame pieces. turn it into a block. So 2 FT 6 IN window. Everything is checked as it should be. Specify the insertion base point right there. Select the whole thing. Enter. Pick it up. Move it into place. Okay, try to get it right in the center. Find that center. Move it up from the center. Okay, zoom in real close. Make sure it's perfect, because if it's not perfect, you're not going to be able to trim. So I'm going to move that. Grab it by that corner. Just move it right down here to the line. And there we go. Now I can trim. So I'm going to click on the trim tool. I'm going to trim out that line and this line. This one and this one. This one and this one. Okay, now I'm going to hit the escape button to get out of the trim tool. And I am going to select a bunch of lines. So I'm going to select all these lines. Select that one. All of these. All of these. This one. This one. And this one. Put them on the red layer, or the exterior wall layer. Okay, and go back and do some more trimming. Trim that one out. And I think I trimmed out too many there. I was really supposed to keep, actually we want to do this. We want to draw that one. And we're going to go to the exterior wall layer. Draw that one. I think I actually just trimmed the incorrect lines on that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to trim and trim this one out instead. And that way all the wall just kind of joins right there, and also trim that one out. So there's your bay window. Okay. There we go. We got 2 bay windows. I think my kitchen window is a bit bigger than my front window. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, you make yours just like I made mine, and you'll be fine. Okay, and that's it for bay window.